Hi, I'm Coach Sally from Growing Intentional Families Together. I'm glad you're here and hope you will click the subscribe button as you can get more information from us down the line anytime you need some really good tips on how to be with your kids. Today we're going to talk just a moment about how we can help our kids lower their stress level during the holidays, which then will lower our stress level. Make sure that you stay till the end for what I find is the most helpful nugget of all. But right now, let's get going. We are going to talk about a helpful model called H.E.L.P, which helps us to remember exactly what we need to do before the holidays. First, I invite you to have a plan. That is, make sure that you and your kids sit down and talk about what the holidays are going to look like. And if you're going to go to somebody else's house, of course, you want to have a plan. The second letter in HELP is E, which is engage your kids in the plan. So sit down some night before you're all ready to get going on the holidays when it's kind of calm and just say, hey, we're going to talk about what our events are going to look like for the holidays. We're going to go to Grandma and Grandpa's in a couple days. Perhaps you can say that. And then you just talk about how long would you like to stay? How long can you stay? Maybe it's an hour, maybe it's 2 hours. Or if this is a longer trip, like a flight, maybe you might say, it's going to be 2 days and 2 nights. So let's talk about how we can have some breaks in between while we're there. And then ask them, what are some reasonable times for them to take a break? Maybe it's an hour interacting with the family and they have a 10-minute break somewhere off in another room. Perhaps they can take some of the items they brought with them that are relaxing for them. Once their break is over, they can re-engage with the family. Discuss also what kind of signals that you could give each other if something is just getting too overwhelming or stressed out for your kids. Maybe it's a little ear shake, or maybe it's a nod, or something like that, or a whisper in your ear that your child might just need to take a break. When we do these kinds of things for our kids, we give them more of a sense of control over the event, which helps lower their stress, and it also allows them to probably stay more engaged than they normally would if they really didn't know what the plan was. The next really important step is to let your family, your extended family, know what the plan is. To say, hey, we might be taking a few breaks while we're with you. It's nothing against you guys, it's just what our children need at this time. And so if you see us going off to another room or a child just sort of quietly moving out of the room for a few minutes, you know what they're doing, and they'll be able to come back refreshed and regrouped. This is a great way for families to start out with less stress even before they get to their holiday party or their grandparents or any other event. The next letter is L for look and learn. We want to be able to watch out for changes in our children's behavior before it gets too big for them and it gets very disruptive. If your child is starting to look sleepy, or maybe they're just checking out and sitting there, really wanting to probably use their phones, or maybe they're not answering questions anymore or engaged in any conversation or activities, or they're just distracted looking all around. And if it starts getting to where they're starting to get disrespectful, you then know that something is not working. At this point, their stress level is probably increasing. And so when you notice these things, you may need to be proactive, head over to your child and just say, do you need a break? Do you need a little time? This will allow your child to notice for themselves how they are starting to behave. They'll be able to look at their own behavior a little bit, and that will help them in the future to regulate on their own. The last letter is P for pack your bags for change. So with all your clothes that you're bringing, make sure you bring some calming fidgets, some familiar items from home that calm your kids so that they can grab those items from the bag and use them anytime they want. And this is a really important nugget for you. Be ready to leave if it gets to be too much. If you can't stay for the allotted amount of time, just feel free to leave. You've already prepared your family for the plan, and most likely they will be supportive and understand what you're doing. And also, be okay with sticking to your plan. Make sure that you don't extend the time, because that might be difficult for your children who are planning on only a certain amount of time of staying. And finally, remember, there will always be another time. And as our kids get more used to the plan, they get more comfortable with it, they'll be able to expand their opportunity and their ability to stay, and their stress will get lower and lower each time they try. Happy holidays to all of you. We wish you all the best. Feel free to reach out to us at giftcoach at Gift Family Services if you have any questions or need your own support.